Hello! We're back down here in the restoration project in the ancient city on the ShrubSMP, where we left off last time. Just down there below, behind us, is our first inhabitant, the farmer, the potato farmer, and his manual potato field over there in the background. In the comments of that video, it was correctly pointed out that farmer villagers can automatically harvest and grow their own crops. And would that be a nice little addition to continue to expand on the farming area down here? And I thought that was a great idea, and they were absolutely correct. So thank you to the comments for making that suggestion, and we're going to go ahead and find a perfect spot in which to continue this expansion. So it just so happens with the courtyard that we put these little items in over here, just behind it, behind my character here, is the corner. Off here in the corner of this ancient city, there are two identical structures, and I kind of had the vision to clean these things up and use the open area. It just so happens that the farmer's farmland area that can be hydrated with just a single block of water is a 9x9 square, and that's pretty much exactly fits within the perimeter of both of these structures. What a perfect spot to continue our farming expansion area down here, where we'll have this potato farmer. Maybe he's got some type of potato monopoly because these are grown manually, because there's some type of special potatoes that he came down here with, and he grew one, but they're only able to be grown by hand. Something very special about this farmer and his potatoes that has this setup kind of be the monopoly on not doing it the traditional farming way that we're going to demonstrate in today's episode. So that's going to be the lore for this guy down here, as was suggested in the comments, and I think was a pretty cool idea to add to the story. That is definitely going to be the focus of today's episode, where we clean up and add farms to both of these structures, and it'll give us an opportunity to demonstrate exactly how villager farms work. That's all coming up, and we're going to get started by collecting some materials and see what we need to clean this thing up. Alright, I have everything I need to get started, and what we're going to do is we're going to start on this one here on the right, and we're going to do a single farmer, and it's going to be collected by a hopper system underneath. That's going to be one design. We'll do that now, and then the next design will be of a different type on the other side. We'll make that one the beetroot and carrot farm, and that one will be used with farmer villagers throwing their crops to some regular villagers, and we'll show you that mechanism when we get over there. But in the meantime, we're going to get started here, building up the majority of the framework and a little bit of a time lapse, and then right after the time lapse, we'll regroup and get a villager over here and show exactly how we can get him started on planting the crops and collecting them. But for now, let's get building. Alright, we got most of the restoration done. We can work on getting the villager in place and kind of explaining and walking through how this particular design works with a single farmer in the field area here, where he will be planting and then collecting the wheat and wheat seeds, which will then be collected by a collection system underneath and show up in this chest here. But for now, we just have to finish some of these last bits to get it all ready to go and ready for the new inhabitant, which will be our farmer villager. I like to actually use this new trick that's been in a recent update. These leaves, and these are particularly mangrove roots, can be waterlogged in this version of Minecraft. And then to prepare the land, we just have to use our bling hoe and take the hoe and till the land. It turns it into farmland, and now that we have our water in the middle, it will remain hydrated, and it's actually starting to get saturated there, or fully hydrated, I guess would be a better way to describe it. And once this is all ready, we will then go ahead and bring in our villager. But last little detail before we get going is we're going to have to put the composter in place right in the middle, so that when he comes over here, that unclaimed villager will claim the composter, turn into a farmer, and we can get him ready to start farming. We're also going to put a shroom light on top so that there's plenty of light around to be able to grow these crops in this dark environment. That's why also why we have the shroom lights on around the perimeter. First things first, we're going to have to get our new friend, the farmer villager, over in place. So let's go back to the breeder and get ready to bring a guy over here, get him in position, and we'll get that process underway right now. All right, we're ready for my favorite part. As you can see, I have a dirt path that leads all the way over to the farm we just built. So let's get this guy moving and see if anything crazy happens. It shouldn't, because it's a pretty straightforward track. Okay, here we go. Get to the corner. Oh, he sees the, I can tell. Yep. Oh, oh. He didn't like that. He hurt. Oh, well, I mean, you know, he's still okay. Trust me, dude. I mean, all right, you're fine, right? Yes, okay, you're fine. So we go down here with him. Now he's staring intently at the composter because he's still in the cart. We're gonna go ahead and F3 bounding box and make sure we don't hit him because he's already been injured a little bit. He'll be fine down here. Knock him out of the cart, and he picks up his job, and there he is. He's a farmer. All right, so now that you're a farmer, the mechanic that we want to outline is right now, this is a brand new villager. You saw him come over here, he got dropped down, picked up his job. He has nothing in his inventory. Villagers do have inventory, and part of a farmer villager in particular being able to plant the fields will depend on any type of seeds that he might have in his inventory. So I bought with me a bunch of, in this shulker box, we bought at least 8 stacks of wheat seeds. I believe the number's 8, so we're gonna go ahead and test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 stacks of seeds that I'm just going to drop on the ground, and he's gonna pick them up. You'll start to hear them. Yep, there's the pickup sound. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's see if that's enough. Yep, all right, he picked them all up. I'm going to show you the special feature that will get him, hopefully, starting farming right away. The bell. Because this is not a natural village, the farmer in particular does need a little incentive, a little reason, and since there's no second villager around for him to exchange the food with, he's going to be in here all by himself. We're going to go ahead and put this bell up here, and if I'm right, he's going to start planting immediately. If not, it's going to be embarrassing, and we're going to have to go to the wiki and figure out why he's not doing it. So here we go. We placed the block, and I saw the particles. Now it's just a matter of what time of day is it. He's got the full pack of seeds. I do have a clock on me, and of course it's near nighttime. We're gonna have to wait. He actually won't start doing the... So at least we know it worked. The bell worked because he reacted to it with those green particles. The reason why he didn't immediately start planting is because of the time of day. The farmer, and there goes the green particles again. The farmer will not plant seeds during certain times of day. We're gonna have to wait. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll fly out and clear out this track. We'll come back and see if we can witness him placing his first seeds. And there he goes. He started doing it. I've been sitting here watching intently, just waiting for the time to be just right. And sure enough, daytime has broken. And as you can see over behind me, he's started planting some seeds. And there he goes. He's just going to go ahead and continue to do this. These will grow. And when he has the time right and he's ready to start working, he'll pull that wheat up. The wheat will then be collected into a collection system, which we're going to build right now, and he'll continue to plant the seeds. I think that's about right. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish the collection system off now, which is just going to take us just below. And all we really have to do at this point is put a big hopper system in. All right, he's up here planting away. Boy, he's almost halfway done, or at least halfway done. I better get a move on. So I've cleared out the area underneath. When we place these hoppers, we're really just going to put them in a pattern such that they all feed into the main collection system right here, this chest. So really you just shift down and we'll put, maybe we'll just put the one. You know what, we'll put a central line that goes throughout the whole thing. And then we'll feed in both sides towards the middle. And then go on from there. I'm going to leave the back open so that I can escape. But basically 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll all point in toward the middle. The middle will funnel into the chest. And that is how this pattern is going to be. You can do this a number of different ways, but this is the way I'm going to do it. All right, now that we have those in place, and he's pretty much started... Oh, we just saw him throw a little piece of bone meal down there. So we've definitely got the whole thing planted out, and he's started the collection. Let's take a look. Oh, he's already... Okay, so there's the bone meal we just saw. And he has managed to pull out one piece of wheat. So again, this is going to take a little while to grow while he goes on and does his farming cycle, and at least we know it works. Now the collection system works, everything is in place, and that means we can turn our attention to the second structure. Now, for the second structure right next door here, I kind of had the idea that we will go ahead and put the beetroot and carrots in here, and we're going to do it on a split dual level. We're going to start off by just starting to peel off a little bit of the top layer, And what I'm going to do is go ahead and do that for a little bit, and we'll come back. And when I do, we're going to talk about the design, exactly how the villagers that we're going to bring over here work. And they are going to work a little differently than the wheat villager, because they're going to be collecting the crops, but they're not going to be getting them collected by a collection system. They're actually going to be throwing them to a second villager that's going to be in there with them. And we'll see how that works when I get everything in position. So I'll clear out the hole, we'll put the dirt levels in place, and then I'll kind of pick up from there, and we'll see our villagers getting put in place, finish off the structure from there, and then see how the mechanisms work. It's going to be really cool. Well, checking in after a little bit, we definitely have, you can see behind me, we have the farmland all ready to go. We have the structure outline pretty much restored and a little lower to the level that needs to be. Now it's time to go down and start to outline the thing and get it ready for the villagers. Now, in the past, I have just locked these guys in farmer villager farms. I just lock them in glass, but I kind of like the idea of them being able to see out, interact with their friends, you know, and see the rest of the environment, and us to be able to see in. So I'm going to go ahead and put these walls up, which will prevent them from getting out. They won't be able to, whoop, got a little farmland there. They won't be able to get out, but we'll be obviously be able to see in and kind of watch all the action going on. They'll get some fresh air, and at the same time, it'll provide a little bit of a decorative feel to this build. So I'm going to continue with this trim, and then we'll come back one last time to transport our villagers and get them all set up for the last step, which is the receivers and how that all works out. All right, now we've completed the building, the structure, the trim, all the decorations are in. We got the farmland ready to go. The next step is to bring, I'm kind of standing in place where the unemployed villagers are going to be. I call them the receivers. So these guys are going to be standing here, catching the crops from the farmers behind them. And we'll show you how that mechanism works. We're going to build a little minecart track to get them over here, and, and hopefully it works out the first time. Okay, I'm over here at the breeder, and as per usual, I've set up the track and didn't really look twice at it, came right over, and we're just gonna let it fly and hope we get him in position. Here we go, here he goes. The minecart is on its way. There goes my man. So there he goes. We're gonna have to get ahead of him here, and there he goes. Okay, so we see him come around back, and perfect. All right, good. No problems there. So where he is now is he's kind of right behind the farm. He's right behind the lower level farmer, and we have to kind of get him out of here and lock him in place. And then that's where he's going to stay so that he can receive those crops. So let's just knock off some of these items. All right, after several mishaps that we're not going to talk about right now, we have our guy in position. We have the hopper minecarts in position, and I've got the upstairs all set up. We're going to go ahead and bring our second guy over. And I hope, because that took about, you didn't see it, but I just spent the last hour because that villager did escape, and it took forever to get him into the right position. But here we go. This one's definitely going to work out the first time, right? Yes, that's what we're hoping anyway. So once again, we fly on around, and we're going to see this. Oh, smack my face. Here he comes around, and he should get stuck in there. Now, this is where I went wrong last time, because I did not have the two hopper minecarts and this little crossbar trapdoor in position to keep him from flying out. Even though I tried to make sure he couldn't hop out those diagonals, he wound up escaping anyway. So long story short, we're going to make sure this guy can't escape, and then we're going to bring over the farmers, and that should be almost where we're going to wrap it up for today once we see that this thing works. We are almost done. Now, as you can see, I have kind of pre-planted, I've pre-primed, if you will, the fields with the beetroots on top and the carrots are underneath, so that now when we bring these farmers over here, they can get to work right away. Again, with my friends over here, unpredictable as always. All I had to do was say something, right? That has never happened before. I've never gotten one stuck. That just, all I had to do was say unpredictable as always, and something crazy happens. Can I get this guy moving? Can you move? What are you gonna do, dude? Jeez. Move. Let's see. What if I break without, and then I push? Come on. Get up there. It's not gonna go because it's an activator rail. It's even harder to push. Come on, there, we got him. Okay, we're gonna leave the other guy for now because I don't want to lose this one. Unpredictable, crazy mind. Gosh, villagers are the most frustrating things, I swear. Okay, let's just stand over and watch them come around and get in there. And let me lock you into place, man, so that I can get the other one in and end this episode, because, wow, this has been an adventure. All right, now he's just going to stare at the composter intently until we free him from his little minecart. So we're going to make sure this guy can't escape, because, gosh forbid, we do not want that. Little farmland, yep. And is he still on a mine rail? Well, it doesn't matter. Free him, and he's an instant farmer, and now he doesn't know what to do. He's gonna run around. It's because his we've put a wall up here because that helps him convert faster. Sometimes they'll compete over it if there's a line of sight with the other villager, but we've taken care of that, and now he's in here. He's in here forever. I'm just gonna fly away. We're gonna let the other one. We're gonna set up the other guy and let him in now. And then we will be pretty much done. We'll do the last bit of opening up the gates here so that they can exchange their crops once he starts farming, and that will be the end. So, all right, we're down to our last villager, at least till I breed some more. So hopefully this guy will cooperate. Let's get him on over there. Okay, at least he made it through the glass. And here we go. We'll meet him over there. Heading down to the lower level and right in. Now let's free him, lock him in, and move on with our lives. So these guys can start farming with each other, passing off their crops, and making us happy that they are doing it correctly instead of just driving us crazy. Okay, so free him. He's probably gonna hurt a little bit, but that's okay. He'll forgive me. All right, good. He didn't get hurt, and he's got his job. And now the last thing to do is to free our line of sight. We'll just take down these dirt walls, and that will open up so that these guys can now be friends. They can be permanent friends because they're going to be stuck down here for a long time. Like we said at the beginning, at least he's got a good view, right? We got some open air. We didn't lock him in with some glass, you know, and make him a real prisoner. But we do have, you know, this enclosure, and he can now exchange this guy in here. But what's going to happen is when he goes to throw a carrot to him, that carrot actually didn't reach the villager. It got sucked down here and is going to be in my collection area. We can go check that now. Let's make sure that carrot went through, just to make sure. And I think we are finally done. There it is, along with some other junk. But anyway, that is a basic 2-level farm. Now, you know, take basic with a grain of salt, considering all the trouble I had to go through to get this thing set up, and we saw some villager mishaps, but all we got to do is clean up some of this construction mess, and we'll be done for this episode and talk about what we're going to do next down here. So yeah, we were able to get our 2 different types of villager farms down here in the Ancient City Restoration. Now we have one of each villager. We've got our special potato farmer. Let's not forget about him, again, with the magical lore of how he bought his magical potatoes that nobody else can farm and has his own little potato monopoly down here. And the traditional farmers of 2 different kinds of collection. We got our wheat farmer all by himself down there, letting the wheat collect itself, and the beetroot and carrot farmers who are exchanging with their friends and collecting for us in the chest below. So along the lines of villagers down here, I really think that we are going to continue with that theme and probably find a way to bring more jobs down here and find some of these new little structures to redesign and make into little stalls that these guys can live in and do their jobs and supply us with trades and have a little bit of commerce and more life down here in the ancient city. And if you have any suggestions for what you think we might want to do down here, please feel free to leave them in the comments, because that's where we got the idea to have our automatic farmers down there. But until next time, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.